Hi, Otaku Recapped here. Today, we're going to talk about the most-watched anime TV series currently airing called Solo Leveling in the action and fantasy genre. Spoiler alert is on, watch out and take care. The Rise of a True Hunter, episodes 5 to 8. A few days passed after the defeat of Kasaka. During this time, Jin Woo had been recovering in the hospital and doing his daily missions, and he had changed in a strange way. His body had gotten more muscular and taller, and even his face had become more handsome. He was finally discharged from the hospital, and after completing his daily mission, he started looking for a job to make some money. But this time, he had to enter a higher-level dungeon, so he decided to join a group to raid a C-level dungeon. He joined a C-level hunter named Hang Duksu, who took the role of the tank in the raid. The name song Jin Woo, as the weakest hunter in humanity, had reached everyone's ears. The only one who treated Jin Woo warmly was a newly awakened hunter named Yoo Jin-ho, the son of the richest businessman in Korea. Of course, his wealth was obvious from the flashy and expensive gear he was wearing. One thing seemed odd to Jin Woo: there was no healer in this raid group. The group consisted of a tank, a damage dealer, and an archer. The fact that they didn't have a healer was concerning. After entering the dungeon, everything was dark, to the point that it reminded Jin Woo of a cartoon temple. They used a magic spell to create light and continued their way. They still hadn't encountered any monsters. Jin Woo, who had enhanced his perception and intelligence, noticed something. At that moment, he warned everyone that monsters were about to attack from above. The team members got busy fighting the monsters. Jin Woo, who had joined the raid as a porter, had done nothing except crush a few insect-like monsters in secret and analyze and observe the team members. Except for Jin Ho, who, like Jin Woo, had joined the group temporarily. The rest of the members were coordinated. It was clear they had been fighting together for a long time, and considering there was no healer, the battles were rough and reckless. No monsters were left. Jin Woo was still suspicious about something: a skilled team without a healer. They even had to recruit 2 temporary members to meet the minimum number of people needed to enter the dungeon. As they moved forward, they reached the dungeon boss room. There was a huge spider, sleeping in a large mass of its web, while the room was filled with mana crystals. At that moment, Hang Duksu and his team exploded the entrance wall. They coldly imprisoned Jin Woo and Jin Ho inside the boss room. Everything was starting to make sense. This had been their plan all along, to kill Jin Woo and Jin Ho. They did this so they could defeat the boss and claim all the mana crystals. But Jin Woo wasn't scared. On the contrary, he was excited. The concept of a dungeon boss and a new level of danger no longer meant anything to him. He pulled his dagger from his inventory and, with a smile, as if excited, said, "Jin Ho, stay back. I'll take care of this monster myself." Jin Ho, who was surprised, warned Jin Woo that he couldn't defeat the dungeon boss. To defeat it, you'd need at least AC rank hunter. Jin Woo knew he was right, but he wasn't scared. He was just excited. Now that he was level 18, he knew he could handle this monster. In a moment, he charged at the monster and appeared behind it. Jin Woo was shocked by Jin Woo's movements. How could Jin Woo be faster than this huge monster? Just when Jin Woo thought he had found an opening for an attack, the giant spider attacked him with acid spewing from its mouth. Jin Woo managed to escape, but he lost the chance for an attack. A single heavy blow from the spider meant death, especially with Jin Woo's stamina decreased from using his speed boost skill. His attacks had no effect. In an instant, the spider managed to land a fatal blow on Jin Woo, and just as he was about to face death, Jin Woo used a daily mission reward that he had previously stored in his inventory. By using full recovery, healing all his wounds, in a split second he plunged his dagger into the spider's eye. The special feature of the Kasaka dagger was that it had poison and paralysis, which greatly weakened the target. But Jin Woo continued at full speed. He kept stabbing, and continued until the dungeon boss fell to the ground. Jin Woo managed to defeat the boss, but he didn't become arrogant. He knew that without the mission reward and recovery, he could have died. However, he was still happy. He was alive. He had leveled up, but there was still one problem. First, Jin Ho, who had seen Jin Woo's real power, and second, the traitors who needed to be dealt with. Duke Seok and his team returned from the upper entrance of the boss's room and were surprised that they were still alive. Duke Seok mistakenly thought that Jin Ho had defeated the boss with a special tool, so he suggested to him to kill Jin Woo and join them. Without hesitation, Jin Ho drew his sword, surprising Jin Woo. He stood in front of Jin Woo trying to defend him. At that moment, Duke Seok and his team decided to kill them both. Jin Woo froze. He received a strange message from the system. Jin Woo was struck by a powerful blow from a sorcerer and was thrown backward. As he lay on the ground, he thought, "Why? Does the system want me to stay alive? What is this urgent mission?" System message. Urgent mission. Kill the opposing individuals. Penalty for failure, death. The system didn't want Jin Woo to survive. It was using him. So Jin Woo decided to use the system to get stronger. He got up and started his attack. As he moved toward Duke Seok's team members, he said, "The strong devours the weak. If you're hunters, you should be ready to be hunted." Everyone laughed, thinking Jin Woo was just an E-rank hunter. But the laughter quickly faded. One of the team members from the attack fell to the ground. The attack team members, unaware of the situation, suddenly found themselves in danger. At that moment, Jin Woo felt a significant change in himself. For the first time, he had killed a person. Even though he had followed the system's instructions, he had still killed a person. Jin Woo's eyes were no longer excited. They were consumed by darkness, a darkness that swallowed everything. The other team members attacked Jin Woo, but they couldn't even follow his movements. He was on another level. Here, Duke Seok realized that his decision was wrong, but it was too late to turn back. So, he decided to strengthen himself with his strongest skill and attack Jin Woo. But before he could realize what had happened, he fell to the ground. Duke Seok was in shock, not wanting to die, so he began begging and said, "I'll give you money, anything you want." But Jin Woo calmly replied, "You tried to kill me 3 times, so die." Just before his death, Duke Seok wanted to say, "Do you know who my master is?" But before he finished his sentence, he suffocated in his own blood. Jin Woo's urgent mission was completed, but it changed something inside him forever. Although Jin Woo had survived, he had made a much stronger monster his enemy, a human who was now on par with monsters. This part starts with the Hunters Union. Hunter 1 Chi-chul, who was responsible for investigating the Carton Temple, receives a report. The report was about an attack where 6 C and D level hunters were killed, and 2 hunters, one at E level and the other at D level, managed to survive. Hunter 1 Chi-chul didn't take it seriously at first and thought the 2 lower level hunters were just lucky. But then he realizes that one of them is Hunter Sung Jin Woo, and one of the deceased is Wang Duk-suk, the brother of the infamous Hunter Dong-soo. A monster worse and scarier than all the monsters. AS level hunter who had gone from Korea to America. Meanwhile, Jin Woo was reflecting on past events with his sister, Jaina. Jaina tells him, "Your last attack didn't harm you. You must have had some strong teammates." Jin Woo doesn't say much. It's true that they tried to kill him at first, but Jin Woo was only following the system's instructions to survive. But Jin Woo's actions and following the system's orders had changed something in him forever. Meanwhile, Jin Woo notices something interesting. He has gained a new skill, detoxification and longevity. It was so powerful that it even erased the effects of alcohol as soon as he consumed it. Poison no longer had any effect on Jin Woo. Later, Jin Woo tries to reconnect with Jin Woo. When they meet, Jin Woo thanks him once again for saving his life. Jin Woo asks Jin Woo to form a team with him. Jin Woo, thinking it's all a joke from a rich kid, decides to leave. But Jin Woo stops him and explains that all Jin Woo needs to do is join him in 19 attacks to help clear dungeons, and he'll be paid handsomely. Jin Woo wants to form a guild, and one of the requirements is having 20 successful attack records. He explains that his father wants to bring an S-level hunter into the guild. This is happening while there are only 7 S-level hunters in Korea, but Jin Woo doesn't intend to accept the offer. He knows that as his level increases, one day he might reach S-level and even surpass them. So, he can't take the risk of exposing his power, and he rejects the offer. Jin Woo asks for his help in keeping Jin Woo's secret. Jin Woo doesn't respond and decides to leave. Jin Woo had bigger concerns. He needed to get stronger. So he started doing daily missions. He noticed something interesting. If he did more than 100 push-ups, the counter would keep going. So, he did as many missions as he could, making sure none of the numbers ever went higher. As a result, Jin Woo received an interesting reward, a key to the Demon Palace. This palace was surely beyond Jin Woo's level. It was a place where even the best hunters had little chance of survival, but the reward of this palace was something Jin Woo couldn't pass up. The elixir of life, an elixir that could cure all diseases, both physical and magical. It could be the only way to save his mother from her eternal sleep. It was clear that Jin Woo only had one choice. He decided to enter the Demon Palace. This palace was located in a city that was burning. It felt like Jin Woo had entered hell. In the beginning, he encountered something much stronger than any monster he had ever defeated before. The Hell Guard named Kerberos. Jin Woo knew that to get back his life with his family, he had to survive. He had to get stronger. Using all the skills he had gathered, he attacked Cerberus, but this creature was too powerful. Jin Woo, thinking hard, lowered his guard for a moment and took a heavy blow from Cerberus. He decided to hide among the ruins to find a way to fight back. This creature was hardly taking any damage. While checking his inventory list, Jin Woo found something interesting. A bottle of Kasaka poison, which had the effect of reducing physical damage by 20% and weakening the consumer's stamina. But poison no longer affected Jin Woo. So, by taking the Kasaka poison and detoxifying it, Jin Woo would take less damage. But the main problem wasn't solved. Cerberus found Jin Woo and attacked, slashing him with its teeth. It seemed like Jin Woo's time was up. This was when Jin Woo shouted and with all his might struck Cerberus' eye with the Kasaka dagger. Now the battle was a test of endurance and survival. Either Jin Woo would die or he would kill Cerberus. After some time, Jin Woo opened his eyes, lying on the ground. The reward for defeating Cerberus made all the hardships seem meaningless. The reward was the formula for the elixir of life, and the materials needed were inside the palace in front of him. But this time, Jin Woo decided not to act impulsively. He would not enter the palace yet. He would return when his level was high enough. Jin Woo had gone to the hospital to visit his mother, and while holding her hand, he couldn't help but think that he was still too weak. Even though he had come this far, he wasn't satisfied yet because with his current strength, he couldn't enter the Demon Palace and get the materials needed for the elixir of life. So, he knew he still had to get stronger in order to heal his mother. The only way to get stronger was by fighting and killing a lot of monsters to level up. Jin Woo only saw one way forward and decided to help Jin Ho by joining 19 attacks. This way, while earning money, he could also get stronger. But there was one condition. Only he and Jin Ho would enter the gate and dungeon. Jin Ho had to find 6 other people to fill the minimum number of participants for the attack. In the meantime, Jin Woo was training and completing his daily missions when he received a message from the Hunters Union. It was a request to form an attack team for AD-ranked gate. Even though he couldn't gain all the experience from killing monsters because of the other members being there, he decided to join the attack until Jin Ho's team was ready. However, there was something interesting about this attack the members of the attack team. Song Jin Woo, along with Captain Song, who was in charge of the attack on the Carton Temple in Act 1, Hunter Kim, Hunter Kang, and Healer Jo Hee were part of the team. More surprisingly, all of these people had previously abandoned Jin Woo. During their reunion, Captain Song was shocked by how much Jin Woo had changed and how healthy his legs were. But he was relieved to see that Jin Woo was okay. The other 4 members were 3 rank C hunters. These weren't ordinary hunters. They were criminals who, to reduce their sentences, were sent on missions to the gates under the supervision of the Hunters Union during times of manpower shortages. Their leader was Hunter Kang Chiuk from Act 1. Jin Woo felt that something wasn't quite right. He asked Healer Jo Hee to join them. Healer Jo Hee, who felt guilty for leaving Jin Woo alone in the Carton Temple, decided to accompany him this time. The team of criminals, led by Union Supervisor Kang Chiok, and Jin Woo's team, led by Captain Song, entered the dungeon. During this time, Jin Woo still had a strange feeling of unease.